Intel invented the modern microprocessor. Today it owns just 3% of AI chips. In 9 days, 10,000 of its factory workers get fired. But here's what should actually keep you up at night. The US government just handed Intel nearly $8 billion specifically to make America chip independent. The ink is barely dry. So ask yourself, was the CHIPS Act a semiconductor revival plan or the world's most expensive delay tax? Hold that question. Here are the numbers the press keeps fudging. Intel Foundry employs roughly 50 to 55,000 people. A 15 to 20% cut means 7,500 to 11,000 jobs in a single wave. Oregon's official warn notice started at 669 workers. Then it was quietly amended to 2,392. That's a 5 times jump in a single document revision. These are semiconductor technicians at Intel's Silicon Forest campus, the people operating the machines that are supposed to manufacture America's AI chips. An internal message circulating among factory employees this week. We'll have another round, and it will be quick. Notifications sent out first half of July. One employee replied, "I haven't been here long. Are new hires usually targeted?" Nobody answered. 5 years ago, Intel owned more than 65% of the AI chip and data center market. NVIDIA had about 25%. Intel was the default. It was the infrastructure. Today, NVIDIA controls around 80% of the AI accelerator market. AMD has climbed to 10%. And Intel's Gaudi 3 sits at 3%, smaller than the other category on most analyst charts. The reason isn't complicated. While the industry went all in on GPU-accelerated AI after ChatGPT launched, Intel was still CPU-focused, still managing process delays on its 10nm and 7nm nodes. By the time Intel's management recognized the shift, NVIDIA had already built a software moat with CUDA so deep that switching costs alone keep most companies from even benchmarking alternatives. Intel didn't exactly lose, it just never showed up. Therefore, the political fallout is now unavoidable. In November 2024, Intel finalized a $7.86 billion CHIPS Act agreement, plus $11 billion in federal loans, and a 25% investment tax credit on over $100 billion in planned capital expenditures. The explicit goal? U.S. chip sovereignty, independence from Taiwan. Intel is the only U.S. company manufacturing leading-edge chips domestically. It is not part of the plan. It is the entire plan. But Intel's 18A process node, its make-or-break technology, is running into yield problems, defective wafers, fewer good chips per production run. Intel Foundry posted a $3 billion loss in a single quarter last year. External customers? Essentially none. The pitch to hyperscalers has not closed. Meanwhile, taxpayers are funding a company that is simultaneously cutting its manufacturing workforce and delaying its flagship Ohio chip fab until 2030, a facility originally supposed to start production this year. Most of you aren't subscribed. If a daily breakdown of the stuff big tech doesn't want you to know is your vibe, fix that. Now here's the contrarian read you won't get from the financial press. Intel isn't dead. And that's almost the problem. Intel still holds one genuinely important ace: advanced packaging. It's one of only 3 companies globally offering the most sophisticated chip interconnect technology, assembling individual dies into complex AI systems. Google just committed to multiple generations of Intel CPUs for AI workloads. AWS signed a multi-year custom chip deal. Real customers are starting to show up. But for developers buying server hardware or cloud commitments right now, if any part of your stack runs on Intel data center CPUs, the 18A yield issues are a supply chain risk you should be modeling. The people leaving aren't random. Fab operators, process technicians, engineers running high-NA EUV lithography machines. That institutional knowledge doesn't come back in a quarter. Skills like that take years to rebuild. NVIDIA and AMD are about to have a very good recruiting month. So back to where we started. Was the CHIPS Act a semiconductor revival or a delay tactic? The honest answer in July 2026. We don't know yet, but the evidence is not encouraging. America made a bet that Intel could claw from 3% back to relevance. That bet required fixed manufacturing yields, external foundry customers, and competitive AI accelerators shipped before NVIDIA's moat became impenetrable. Instead, it's July 2026, and 10,000 people are about to get a notification on their work laptop. The most unsettling part isn't the numbers. It's that 5 years ago, nobody, not the analysts, not the government, not Intel itself, saw it coming at this speed. The AI transition didn't just shift the market, it made the entire previous map obsolete in less time than it takes to build a chip fab. Whatever dominant infrastructure platform exists today, the window to defend that position is now measured in years, not decades. "We invented the industry" is not a moat. Drop a comment. Do you think Intel recovers, or is 3% the new normal? Like the video if this gave you context you weren't getting from the financial headlines. And I'll see you tomorrow.